All right, back on trail. Just finished a quick little climb up from Rosalie Lake where we spent the night. And, whew, give me a second, catch my breath. I think we're hovering at around 9,600 feet of elevation, so this is day 3 on the trail. So I'd like to think that Joe and I are on our way to being acclimated. It's still the Sierras, even if you didn't add in the elevation. Just a short day today. We're headed to Red's Meadow for our first resupply, and we're gonna hit Devil's Postpile on the way, because why not? And yeah, just see what the day has. Good times. Well, about 2 hours in, and minus our short climb this morning, it has been a nice, slow downhill for most of it, so it's been manageable. But kind of been going through the Sierras version of the Green Tunnel, so this is kind of the first big view we've had for the day. And noticing some haze, so I'm thinking the rangers mentioned there were at least a handful or a couple handfuls of wildfires that were in the area. And so maybe that's from them, but definitely didn't have that yesterday. But anyways, we've got just a little bit towards the junction that'll take us to Devil's Postpile, but it's gonna be an early day today, because I think we could push past Red's Meadow today if we wanted, but Joe and I both planned in our meal plans of eating dinner and then breakfast the next morning into our meal plans. So we'll have to, we almost have to stay there. But that's okay. We've still got plenty of time to get to Vermilion Valley Resort, which is our next hard date. Should take us about 3 days from Red's, but anyways, we'll keep coasting downhill and maybe see some Devil's Postpile today. Good times. I think we got this figured out, but 4-way intersection, that's the way we came from. That's the PCT. That's the JMT, continuing south, and then we're gonna go to Devil's Postpile, because we can. It's like super early, and so it is what it is. Sometimes it's good to have a relaxing day where we don't have to crush some miles. So, good times. All right, Devil's Postpile. I took Geology 200 when I was in college. It was the geology of the national parks. That was the only reason I signed up to do it. And it was a semester-long course. And the only thing I remember from it was we studied Devil's Postpile. And talked about columnar jointing. Columnar? If I can say it right. Columnar. Potato. But anyways, we studied how these columns form, and it's from liquid hot lava. As it cools into these hexagonal shapes, which is pretty nifty. So unlike other things in Yosemite, not caused by glaciation, just lots of hot lava. But yeah, we're pretty much coasting into town for the day. We're surrounded by a bunch of day hikers who are some of them are giving us weird looks, but whatever. I think we're finally getting like the funk, so we're starting to smell, which is good. I like smelling bad. It's a badge of honor. But yeah, we're gonna ease on down to Red's Meadow and probably get some lunch there, and then see what else is in store for us. Good times. Maybe somebody can help me out if anybody's watching that's a botanist or something like that, but I was just noticing these trees. Definitely an evergreen, but the needles are so flat. I was telling Joe, they almost look like an artificial Christmas tree when you first get it out of the box. It's really neat, but I'm not smart enough to know the official name. So, but very cool. We're just on the downhill slope to Red's and probably gonna have some good food for lunch. Well, we made it to Red's, set up camp and made our way down here to the store. Eventually we're gonna get our resupply, but first things first. Double cheeseburger, potato salad. Joe got fruit. Who gets fruit? But some local brew. Power banks are charging. Life is good. Good times. Resupply bucket number 1. It's like getting reunited with an old friend. I haven't seen this thing in a couple weeks. Let's see if everything's still inside. So it looks like my drink mix may have busted, but other than that, everything is relatively casualty free. We'll have to put this all back together. Good times. We're trying to herd the cats a little bit. So we got here to Red's Meadow a day early, but with the way that the meal planning worked, we actually are still going to need the same amount of food to get to our next resupply, which is Muir Trail Ranch. And then somehow fit everything that was in here into this. The laws of physics are not in our favor. Also, fun fact, all of this was packed at, well, whatever elevation Raleigh is, close to sea level. So all of the stuff that's sealed is like exploded. It's like super inflated. So same thing with my my broccoli here. But I'm gonna get this organized and then come back with the plan. So here we go. All right, so Joe's already packed. He's clearly a lot faster in his execution. So oddly enough, the only extras that I've got, because I had a one drink mix bust on me, I've got a peanut butter and a Gatorade mix that's extra. So pretty satisfied with that. So I feel a little better about this. So now the trick is fitting all of this into this canister. We'll see. I'm gonna get it packed up and then go from there. All right, so the plan, so it's all fitting, which is good. Since there's a bear box here, safe storage for overnight food, I'm not gonna pack my food for tomorrow in the canister. I'm just gonna carry that in my pack loose. But it'll stay in the bear box tonight. So I'm cool with the critters not bothering us. So with that little cheat code, everything else fits. So good times.
Well, all right.
Well, all right. Well, it's been kind of a weird day. We hiked about 8.5 miles this morning and got here to Red's Meadow and set up camp. And basically all we've done since we got here is eat, drink, make a lot of new friends. We met tons of people here. And I was mentioning to Joe, like we've talked to some good folks out here, but every single one of them is completely different in just walks of life and personalities and what brought them out here to begin with. And I think that speaks to the universal draw that this trail has for people. is that everybody can appreciate it, no matter who you are, where you come from. Everybody can appreciate it. So we're back. We're on the way back to camp now. The store is about a quarter mile from the campground, so that's where we are right now. And I think it's gonna be another early night. It's 7:01 p.m., which is hiker midnight for us. I think last night we went to bed at 7:30. Great stop, great day. Ready for some climbing and some hiking tomorrow. We'll see you then. Good times. Good morning. Not back on trail yet. We are headed over to the store and kitchen, and my plan for this morning is to destroy some pancakes. So Joe and I got an early wake up. It's about 6:30 now. Kitchen's opens at 7, and wanted to get a relatively early start because we might have a bit of a challenging hike today. So I want to give ourselves some time for that. But yeah, pancake time. All right, finally back on trail. Breakfast turned into a little more of an ordeal than we had planned. They're having some computer issues, so it took a while for their machines to get fired up. But got some breakfast and making our way back to GMT. And today going to be pretty much a lot of climbing, but we're looking either to go to Duck Lake, or if we're feeling froggy, Virginia Lake. There was a guy at Reds last night said Virginia Lake was definitely worth the extra, but it would definitely be some extra hiking because from Duck up to Virginia is pretty much all climbing. So we'll see how we feel. But not a cloud in the sky this morning, and yeah, just ready to get back out. Good times. Well, time for break number 1. We made it to Deer Creek, which is about 5.7 miles from Reds, and about 1,500 feet of elevation gain. So it's been slow uphills, nothing like excruciating, but just constant uphill. Flattened out for a little bit just before the creek here, but we got some more climbing to do. But I think we're going to top off with water because our next reliable water source is about 3 miles. And it's just good to stay hydrated because the sun is definitely out now, and when you're in the shade it's okay, but once you get out in the sun it can be brutal. So a little breather and then we'll get back on trail. Good times. Still climbing. We've got about just under 3 hours in, and it has not stopped going up. We've got about another mile till it flattens out. But Joe's asking me about if I prefer these long, slow ascents or a short, steep ascent. And I had to think about it. I really don't like either. But if I had to choose, I would choose these long, slow ascents over the short ones, but just barely. It's a beautiful day. Good times. All right, we got about 4 hours of hiking under our belts, and we made it to the outlet for Duck Lake. And I think just because of time, we'll probably end up pushing to Virginia Lake tonight. But Joe and I have been hoofing it, and this sun is just unforgiving. So it's going to be a long lunch break, and then we'll decide what we want to do. I mean, we can camp in this area if we really wanted to, but I don't want to waste the day because it's beautiful right now. Oh, hot, really hot. So we're going to soak up some shade and then ease on. Good times. So we're just finishing lunch and talking about meal planning and whatnot. And Joe's questioning his lunch choices. So there are two personalities. There's Packing Joe and then there's Hiker Joe. So Packing Joe packs food and gear for Hiker Joe.
He hates Hiker Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know why he hates him. Makes him eat this crap.
So Hiker Joe is questioning Packing Joe's choices on food. He had some kale chips in the last bucket. Yeah. But speaking of questionable choices, I already did a video about like how I planned food for this trip, but I went over to REI for something completely unrelated and made an impulse buy and bought some of these, like, I thought they were complete cookies, but they're Monk Pack protein cookies. And it's double dark chocolate, and who doesn't love double dark chocolate, right? So without testing it, without trying it, I threw them in the resupply buckets, and just had my first one, and it tastes like it's straight out of an MRE. And if you know me, you know that I abhor MREs. I go out of my way not to eat MREs if I can help it. So it tastes like it's out of an MRE, but by MRE standards, it's probably something that would be good for like trading value and that kind of thing. You could definitely get jalapeno cheese spread for this. So definitely some good currency, but it still tastes like a dense chocolate brick that's probably gonna sit in my gut for a week. But anyways, I think we're gonna hang out here for a little longer. Neither of us are terribly in a hurry to get back out. So, good times. Scenery, just don't quit. So we decided from Duck Lake to push on to Lake Virginia, which is just up between, or just up that pass. But this is Duck Lake is on the other side of that ridge, and you can kind of see the trail as it comes down. And then Purple Lake is down there where we just came from. But Virginia Lake is going to be home for the night. Oh, we've been climbing back up from Purple Lake. It's been, it hasn't been the worst climb ever, but it's still enough to get your attention. But just an absolutely perfect day. Very good times. Lake Virginia, Mountain Mama. I've been waiting all day to put that on camera. It's Lake Virginia, supposedly 15 miles. We'll have to check, but we cranked out the miles this morning before lunch. We made it all the way to Duck Lake for lunch. And then the last 4 and some change up here. But this is gonna be home for the night. The views are, I guess the views are okay. They're all right. I mean, on a Sierra scale, they're like a 7. Kidding, this is amazing. But yeah, gonna chill out and enjoy the rest of the day. Good times. Like Eskimos.
It all died out.
So, what is that?
A smashed Twinkie.
Nice!
Just gotta let players make plays.
Well, we're both Tolkien fans, and, you know, he's been using the analogy of Frodo and Sam setting out to deliver the ring to...
I did today too! I was like, share the load! Fuck you, Sam! You greedy bitch!
So we've been going back and forth, which one of us is Frodo, which one of us is Sam. And he's claimed Frodo, but he's not an Elijah Wood fan. So.
I mean, that's not a reach.
Yeah.
There aren't many.
But I'm okay with being Sam, because Sam's like the greatest wingman ever. Like, he makes things happen. You know, he doesn't get a lot of credit.
Gets the girl in the end.
Right?
Yep.
I'm just one of the annoying ones.
Alright, well, which one of the fellowship are you if you're not a hobbit?
Oh, I'm Aragorn, son of Aragorn. Sure.
Love the confidence.
Go big or go home.
I see it's an ego thing for you.
Well,
back on trail. Had an absolutely exquisite evening last night. We camped here at Lake Virginia, and this is definitely my favorite camp spot so far. Granted, we're only on day 5, but I just feel like when you think of an alpine lake on the John Muir Trail, you're thinking of Lake Virginia. Just beautiful. So Joe and I have kind of gotten ahead of ourselves once again. So we're trying to figure out how to time it, because we don't we've got reservations to stay 2 nights at Vermilion Valley Resort, or VVR for short. Our reservation is for tomorrow night and the following night, but we're really not that far away. So I think what we're gonna do, hang on just a second before I bust myself. Back again. Had a couple of creek crossings, but so I think the plan for today is we're gonna get within about 10 to 11 miles of VVR, and there are two options, and I think we're gonna go with the more difficult option, just because, you know, we love punishment. Short aside, right over there is where we camped last night on that gradual slope. Just beautiful. But anyways, there's a side trail and about 6.5 miles that will go straight to VVR, but it cuts off a portion of the JMT, and I've waffled back and forth about it. There's also a much more difficult trail that goes down to Edison Lake and then follows the lake all the way to VVR. But in 5.8 miles, it has 1,000 feet of ascent and descent. So it's a lot up and down. So we'll see. But we're not getting there today. But we're probably gonna go through Silver Pass and then camp on the other side of it somewhere. We'll see. Question mark for the day. Good times. Playing leapfrog with these guys for like 3 or 4 days now, something like that. But we first saw them at Silver Lake and then Reds, and then we got to hang out with them last night at Virginia, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Andy and Brittany.
Yeah. Hi.
They're it's Bad Hikers.
Bad hikers.
But they're not Bad Hikers. So Bad Hikers is the name of their channel, so make sure you go check them out on YouTube and Instagram.
That good at it.
Well, you're doing a lot better than me, so. But anyways.
No, is that true?
But they've been awesome to hang out with, so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see them down trail.
You guys are gonna do some VVR resupply. We're gonna skip that, but we'll catch you on the other side of VVR.
Word. We'll see you.
See ya.
Good times.
Seriously though, make sure you go check out Brittany and Andy's channel. Their content is way better than anything you'll see here.
Made it to Squaw Lake at 10,291 feet above sea level. We're gonna stop here and get water because one of the guys that was headed north that we passed this morning said that water on the other side of Silver Pass was questionable. So I think the trail goes up that way somewhere, and then the pass is over there. But yeah, we still got some climbing to do today. Whew. Good times. Well, we're on our way up to the pass. We just coming up on Chief Lake. We took a little bit of an extended break down there at Squaw Lake, and we were talking and doing the math and everything. And we're like, oh, well, it's only like 670 feet of ascent to the pass from where we are now. And then Joe made the comment about halfway up He's like, you know, there was a time when it was really like 600 feet sounded like a lot. Don't get me wrong, 600 feet is a lot. But our perspectives have changed drastically in the last few days. Got a mile and some change up to the pass, where I expect we'll have some views. See you then. Good times. Silver Pass. Hey, little buddy. Even up here, there's wildlife, and you can see Chief and Warrior Lakes below us. Can't even see Squaw Lake where we took a break. But you can kind of see way down there where we were. We had a smooth sailing coming downhill from Lake Virginia this morning, but we made up for it and then some with this climb. We came up from this valley way down there, and then you can't even see the mountains that we came down. To the south, where we're headed, and I'm assuming that's Silver Lake down there, although I was expecting a little more. Maybe that's why that guy said don't count on it for water. It looks a little dry. But we're gonna head south for camp at some point. It's still pretty early, but we got time on our side for once. But I was telling Joe, these views are the reason that we come out here. Beautiful, very good times. Had a nice relaxing lunch break and got back on trail. We've been on trail for about an hour and some change, and just came down what feels like straight down this beautiful gorge. Joe said that he wasn't sure which one would be worse, going up or down, because it was just rock hopping and makes the knees sing. So, but it was beautiful for sure. But now we are participating in the time old tradition of campsite hunting, and Gut Hook says there's one a little less than a mile ahead that has a very good chance of being home, because we're not that far from VVR. So the plan will be tomorrow to wake up and hike into VVR for lunch. So yeah, good times. Well, made it home for the night. This isn't like the greatest tent camping spot, and as I was wandering around looking for a campsite, I was like, man, what I wouldn't do, or what I wouldn't give, have my hammock, because this is like hammock zone right here. But we did not bring our hammocks, so we're gonna make this work. There's actually some really sweet tent sites up at the top of the hill, but they're super exposed. Just don't want to be putting ourselves out there like that. So still some epic views, not too shabby. So it's time to chillax. Good times. day 5's in the books. Another great day. Another great day. Got over Silver Pass, which felt really good, and got to meet up with Andy and Brittany again. They ended up camping in the same place we did, so that was pretty cool to get to see them again, and had dinner. And they're gonna head on to Bear Creek tomorrow, so we probably won't see them for a few days. But yeah, good friends, new friends. But yeah, so this was our view for tonight. Pretty tough to beat. These views just don't quit. So we'll see you in the morning. Good times.